I think it's so fun to relive childhood memories all over again, especially as I'm getting older. If you couldn't tell by the balloons behind me, I'm just celebrating a birthday. Oh, now my cats are gonna go crazy with these balloons in the background. What if Animal Crossing in the future could bring back some of these childhood nostalgic memories using the games that we all used to play as kids? You know, games like hide and seek, where you would hide and people would totally come and find you. I had friends. Another game is Cops and Robbers, or whatever you called it back in the day. As a cop, you would try to catch those robbers and arrest them and put them in jail, and then another robber could come and release them from the jail. You know, it was a fun game. Well, back in New Leaf, you can actually play full games of hide and seek that had a timer. If a villager would ask you, hey, do you want to play a game of high card, low card? No, it was nothing like that. The same repetitive game over and over and over again with the cards. It got annoying after a while in New Horizons, didn't it? It had a lot of these great mini games, not only there, but on the island. I would really like to bring that back for the next Animal Crossing game, and I think you would too. If this is something that interests you, make sure you subscribe today. What is a childhood game that you used to play when you were a child that you fondly remember playing with your friends or even just by yourself? Let me know in the comments below. Now let's talk about the live Cops and Robbers that can be happening within the big city portion of my game, Small Town, Big City. Now, before we fully dive into how this game is going to work, we have to talk about the two teams that will be participating, the Cops and the Robbers. And luckily, we have some characters that fit that description in the series already. Yes, Copper and Booker are two NPC characters that were cut from Animal Crossing New Horizons that were present in almost every single game up until that point. I'd like to bring them back and have them have a distinct role within the big city. The Copper and Booker Security League, which, by the way, is the Cops and Robbers game that I've been hinting at this whole time, is located in the rural district and accessible all hours of the day. You can't just be too careful at any time of day that these mischief makers might try to create their mischief. If you talk to Copper, you're going to get one set of tasks, or if you talk to Booker, you're going to get a set of a little less intense, a little bit more fun tasks, like getting him a specific flavored donut within a time limit, sorting junk mail, or finding the best napping spot in the city for AFKing. Now, each task completed per day will gain you some bells. Every day is an opportunity to join or not join in with the work that needs to be done on the server, right? With no pressure. However, becoming a Security League member is most exciting when you are involved in the server-wide game of Cops and Robbers, which doesn't pay, but can be a fun way to sleuth and catch the moles in the cop role. Well, who are these moles? Well, luckily we have two moles in the game already, and their roles have been incredibly diminished. One doesn't even appear really in the game at all, and that is the Resetti brothers, Mr. Resetti and his brother Don Resetti. And I think these would be the two characters that would be perfect to fill this whole robber role here on the big city servers. Now, the Resetti Surveillance Center is set up in the depths of the big city, and it's home to the club, run by the boss, Mr. Resetti, and his brother Don. Mr. Resetti can get a little hot-tempered, but he isn't as angry as he was in the original games. He's just somebody that you don't want to double-cross. If you've never joined the gang before, you have to find the hidden door in an underground tunnel portion of the big city. When you find that door, it will trigger a text box similar to Crazy Red membership in City Folk. It requires a password to enter. When you find that password through a series of events, you can join the gang and you can move on to step 2, which is make your way around the city and wait for a whisper to pop up. A whisper becomes a voice, and that voice says, hey, within this time limit, we're going to be opening up this surveillance center, and I'm going to give you your mission of the day. Get ready. And so that is Mr. Resetti whispering to you saying, This is going to be the secret location of the opening today specifically. And there's going to be openings scattered around the big city, so you never know where the opening is going to be on any given day. And upon the timer running out, it will reveal the hidden entrance that will open up before your eyes. Then you can enter in the boss's reset center to receive your daily task from Resetti or Don. The task that Resetti brothers give you will differ per day and per person. Mr. Resetti will give you some mischief tasks that are more mean-spirited like. And Don's tasks, well, they're a lot more goofy in nature. They include the ability to drop banana peels to make villagers or player characters trip. Or maybe even turn all the donuts at a shop into gross trickster donuts. And as you can probably tell, that'll make a certain dog who likes donuts on the server very angry. Completing tasks will get you what's called gang credit. Now this is not bells necessarily, but these can be used in the hidden dumpster dives store as a currency, amounting to 10,000 bells per credit. However, becoming a gang member is most exciting when you're involved in the server-wide game of Cops and Robbers, which doesn't pay, but can be a fun way to cause mischief as the robber role. Alright, now that we've gone into both the roles of the Security League and the Resetti Gang, are you starting to see how this can play out on the server? Let's talk about the Cops and Robbers daily server-wide game. Upon becoming a Security League member, you have the fun task of catching the moles on the server anytime you go on duty. Talk to Copper and go on duty to be on the lookout. He will give you a security whistle that you need to wear at all times, and the ability to click on a player and press the Catch the Mole button that will appear. If you suspect you have run into a Resetti Gang member due to their behavior on the server, you can click that Catch the Mole button to send them to the holding place in the Security League. This is like the jail in the game Cops and Robbers. You can also gather intel to find where the Resetti's hideout entrance is located. Once you find the entrance yourself, make your way into the surveillance center and make it past their anti-security system with a short minigame for you. If you do succeed, you will have access to the center you're in. Once a certain amount of Security League members have made it past the anti-security system and into the center, a cutscene will play for anyone who is gathered there. Don and Resetti are getting into their ejection seats, sounding the alarm and making a hasty escape through their tunnels. Now, what if you want to play the robber role? Well, the Resetti Gang is the way to go. Upon becoming a Resetti Gang member, you have the fun task of causing mischief on the server anytime you decide to enter the surveillance center. Talk to Mr. Resetti and go make mischief and try not to get caught. Now, these pranks that he gives you to play, you might want to keep this on the down low, especially if you suspect that a Security League member could be nearby. You can click the prank button. This is the kind of equivalent of the Catch the Mole button for the robbers on a villager or player at any time. Now, if you suspect you have run into a Security Team League member, then hit the prank button to temporarily stun them while you make a clean getaway. The next thing is if a Security League managed to catch you in the act, they will put you in a 5-minute timeout in their security office holding place, where you have to play a minigame of boring chores with Booker. You can be broken out early by another gang member if they enter into the Security League undetected and break you free. This is where that temporary stun of the security members kind of comes into play. That's called a jailbreak, in those games. Once broken free, you will be sent outside and unable to cause mischief until you re-enter their surveillance center as long as it's still open. But beware, a Security League member could follow you there and cause the game to be ended until next time. Being a Resetti Gang member does have its drawbacks, but the prankage you cause in the meantime is priceless. To see the look on a security team's face when you have graffitied all of Nook Square with Resetti's angry face. This is how the game begins and ends. Number 1, the Resetti Surveillance Center opens, triggering the official game on the server. Number 2, Copper calls you and asks you to report for duty. You can opt out or in at any point in the game or not. Number 3, the Resetti Gang gives you an official task and prank button, while the Security League gives you the security whistle and the Catch the Mole button. Number 4, Catching the mole sends them to the security office, disabling their prank button until they find Resetti again to reinstate the task. Hitting a security league member with a prank stuns them temporarily, leaving them unable to follow you. The Resetti Gang members, number 5, can free other members from the holding place early, while Security League members can enter into the Resetti Surveillance Center by passing their anti-security system mini-game. And finally, number 6, the game officially ends when the Security League gathers 20 plus members in the Resetti Surveillance Center and the brothers flee, ending the game for everyone on the server. So that is how your childhood game of cops and robbers could play out here in Animal Crossing Big City. So what did you think of my concept? Would you like to see mini games like this back, like hide and seek and cops and robbers for the very first time? If so, let me know. And I hope you liked the concept today. That's all for this today. A little bit of a shorter one for you, but I hope that you found it interesting and a little bit of a deep dive back into some of your nostalgic childhood memories. Well, my name is SoopaKoopa. We'll see you on the next one when we cover some more big city topics. Take care.